Hello, fat cats and wannabe fat cats. We are actually pretty lean cats right now because Bitcoin is following the stock market way too much. And as the stock market suddenly plummeted this afternoon, Bitcoin did the exact same, unfortunately. And we are losing critical points. We lost 40,000 or 41,000 already, and we might actually lose 40,000. This is the 1 day graph. Now, usually I don't really look at the 1 day graph, but today it is very, very important because at around 2100, we dipped massively, massively down. And if you actually look at the stock market graph, DJIA, I wish I could make this larger, we also started to dip just around here. Now, there was an increase in volume in the stock market, and you can see the massive slope. Like, we were actually doing very well in the morning. Then in the afternoon, we started coming down, and then, a couple of hours ago, we just dumped straight down from 35,200 to 34,800. We lost about 400 points, 500 points. All of a sudden, we went from like plus 150 to like negative 300. And that correlated with a Bitcoin dip. Now, Bitcoin did dip harder than the stock market, but that's because Bitcoin is a more volatile asset overall. And I don't know if we're going to stop dumping. So, unfortunately, right now, Bitcoin is very, very much correlated with the rest of the asset market. And because Bitcoin is extremely correlated with the rest of the asset market, it's really fluctuating with the overall economy right now. So no, it's not a hedge against inflation again. It's an investable asset. And I'm not really sure. I think like some of the companies' earnings, like Netflix today, actually fell behind on some of their reports and didn't perform as well as usual. And of course, there's still the Russia and energy crisis we have, and other things like that that are driving the that are actually driving the price of the stock market down. And Bitcoin is very, very much tied to the stock market, as you can see. They started going down at about the same time. Like, basically, when I started streaming, it was still at the upper 42,000s. And then, like, as the stock market lost 400 points, Bitcoin also lost like 1,000 points. So obviously, right now, the TA is complete nonsense and doesn't really matter. And it's really all about like what the stock market does and what people think of consumer confidence right now. Because if people are not confident in the economy right now, it doesn't matter how great or how much adoption Bitcoin has. People are going to sell all assets, including stock markets and Bitcoin. So profit reports and earnings reports, you should watch CNBC for profit reports and earning reports on the stock market, because that is massively, massively affecting how Bitcoin is actually doing. Now, if the economy and the stock market tick back up, if the Fed says we're not really raising interest rates anytime soon, or if the government says, oh, we're putting more money or getting more, like handouts, then the market will probably go back up. But right now, with them increasing interest rates, with the consumer confidence being fairly low, and with Omicron still being there and the Russia situation right now, the stock markets are unstable and they're uncertain, and that is affecting the crypto market right now. I mean, there's really no other reason for this dump except for a stock market dump. And as you can see here, this straight down and then like pretty much this straight down almost at the exact same time. So we were actually up today before this like massive dip. We were actually at 43,400, and same thing with the stock market. We actually did start like a much higher. You see, the previous close was at 35,029. We were a couple hundred points above, and then all of a sudden we had this massive dump, and that's what we actually had today. So there we have it right now. The crypto market is mirroring the stock market, and because consumer confidence is low, because like the earnings reports, I guess for Netflix didn't come out well today, and because of the Russian situation, it's all affecting the stock market and then indirectly or directly affecting the crypto market. The oscillators right now are looking for a very, very strong sell. And the oscillators are neutral, but the moving averages are definitely sell. The thing is, if the stock market actually bounces back tomorrow in the beginning, you might actually have a chance for like a small swing trade. I definitely wouldn't bet on it though, because if the stock market keeps going down, we'll probably crash below 40,000. So that's where we are right now. I don't really know how the economy is going to do for the rest of the year. I don't think it'll be too bad because honestly, like, if it gets much worse, I think the Fed's going to step in and say like they're not going to raise interest rates, and that'll boost things up quite a bit. So right now, the moving averages are basically all down right now. We're pretty far from the moving averages being positive, but like anything that the Fed does or the regulators do could actually change it on a dime, and I do believe they will actually step in. Like right now, like I don't think they're going to give us like more money like they did last year, but we don't really need that. We just need like interest rates to stay stable, and we need some good positive like earnings reports from certain companies, and I think that would actually pump it back up. But right now, all the moving averages are strong sell. Unless you're looking for a small bounce back tomorrow morning to do a swing trade, I probably wouldn't trade. On the weekly, we're definitely on a strong sell on the moving averages. The oscillators, I would say the oscillators actually kind of signal a weak buy because the commodity channel index is below negative 100 and the stochastic is still oversold. So like stochastic and commodity channel index is oversold. Everything else is kind of like negative though. So I would say like maybe a weak buy on the oscillators, but the moving average is definitely a sell. So I definitely would not buy right now. On the 1 month, on the monthly, obviously it's still a pretty strong buy. We are getting closer to that sell point on the 20, and that is actually pretty bad. Now, I think like in the event of Russia attacking Ukraine, obviously, the exponential for the 20 and maybe even the 30 will change the sell, and that's definitely a longer term bear market. But if let's just say that that doesn't actually happen, I do believe that the Fed will actually step in and actually boost the asset markets up, including crypto. So there's a lot of stuff going on here lately. It's not just with crypto anymore. Like crypto is now meshed in with the overall economy and geopolitics like it hasn't been for the last couple of years. And it's a lot more complex than things were actually before, because it is actually meshed in with the stock market. Now, after the market closed today, which actually just happened, so the stock market can't actually dump anymore, I think crypto will kind of even out. But then again, you do have the Asian markets. I think if you see a massive dip in Asia with the Nikkei and other things, with the Nikkei, the Shanghai Index, and the HSI, I think you'll see it dump more. I don't really know how Asia is going to react. I think if the Asian stock market dumps, the crypto market's going to dump even more. If the Asian stock market remains kind of stable, I think crypto will actually stabilize down and maybe even go up a bit. But that's just how I see things for right now. It's all about the stock market. It's all about earnings reports right now. Even though they're not directly affecting crypto, they affect the stock market, which indirectly affects crypto. So that's my view on it. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.